Alright, this is my second time trying to record this little intuitive channeled message. It is about the state of humanity and what we are really doing here. I'm just going to read it. Okay. So, I don't know exactly who or what I'm having a conversation with, but this is the higher intelligence that came through. Okay, and so I asked the question, who am I? And the response, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You feel sad because you are alone, but this is the only way to draw out the truth of who you are. When you are surrounded by partners or friendships, you lose yourself. You undergo hardship to extract the power that lies dormant within you. And so when you are sad or in distress, that is when the truth of who you are is revealed. You don't want to be here because you are not from here, but you are here because something has been asked of you, and so you are here. I asked, what has been asked of me? The answer, we need a certain percentage of people to resonate at the frequency of freedom to overturn the strongholds placed on humanity. So no, you are not from here, but this is your adopted place of being. This is where your soul came to work. Just as you have jobs in the normie world, you could say that you are doing a job by being here on Earth. And it is less about what you do while you are here, though that is important, but it is more important how you feel about what you do. Those who have chose to work in the earth realm have the responsibility of reigniting the creator power consciousness into the collective, because you have been enslaved by ideologies and ways of thinking. The mission is to get enough conscious creators to awaken their remembrance of sovereignty. I asked, why do we have to participate in this game? Why would we choose this for ourselves? The answer, it is hard to sit around and watch people suffer when you are aware that there is a level of freedom that is your birthright. It pains us to see how people have enslaved themselves, have acquiesced their power. I asked, what if we don't want to play anymore? What if we don't want to participate? The answer, then the world and the people of the world would simply continue to suffer. I asked, I said, people have been suffering forever on earth. It feels like all we know is suffering. The response, this is what you are here fighting for. I asked, what if we are tired and want to stop fighting? The answer, then the world would remain enslaved. The humans remain enslaved. I asked, will I have to come back here when I die? The answer, not if you don't want to. But again, you came in the first place because you thought you could make a difference. I said, how did I think I could make a difference? The answer, it would be easier for you to remember who you are and why you are here. You remembered and you wanted to remind other people too. This is about universal freedom. Freedom is a consciousness, a state of mind. When it is remembered in you, the consciousness of freedom lights up in the grid that far surpasses the earth realm. The fight for freedom on earth is representative of the fight for freedom in less dense realms. You will be the physical representation of freedom, but the energetic consciousness of freedom will reign across all realms. You are stuck in the physical realm because you are also stuck. You are stuck in the physical realm because they are also stuck in the etheric realm. There are layers of warfare taking place all at once. You experience it on the physical plane, but there are layers of oppression being fought. That is why there is a strong desire to be free. Okay, that's where I stopped channeling. So in a nutshell, I was having this, I don't want to call it existential crisis, but you know, sometimes we just get in our feels, we get like just these dark and heavy feelings, and so I was just asking, like, what am I even supposed to be doing here? Who am I? What is the purpose of all of this, right? And so they said that no, you might not be from here. If you are one of the people who feel like, I'm not from Earth, I don't feel like, and I know people like get really like annoyed, like there's this dissonance of, okay, you say you don't feel like you're from Earth, but you're here, so deal with it, right? And it's like, no, not really. Because just because we are here, just because we were born into this reality or incarnated into this reality, does not mean that we're here and I are from here. And I think that's why so many young people, millennials, Gen Zs, are tired of working, or tired of being cogs in the matrix, are just tired of these corrupt systems, because we implanted ourselves in the earth realm so that we could ignite this remembrance of universal freedom. And the reason why we chose to come onto the physical plane, so this consciousness is saying there are levels to this oppression. We feel the denseness of the oppression on the physical plane, but there are also layers of oppressions, principalities, ideologies on the etheric realm. Think about, like, I don't know, angels and demons fighting in the etheric realm, right? So we are the soldiers, the boots on the ground in the earth realm, but there's also simultaneously an extension of us that is also fighting in the etheric realm. Good versus evil, or light versus dark, if you will, for lack of a better term. Now understand, light and dark are both supposed to, I know this sounds crazy, but live symbiotically. They're supposed to live symbiotically. This is the yin and yang, okay? There is a balance of why there is both lightness and darkness, or why there is both good and evil. One could argue that God, the expression of God, created the darkness as a way to discover the light, or created the light as a way to discover the darkness. As the light is being created, the darkness is simultaneously being created. As good is being created, evil is simultaneously being created. So there was a balance. But things become unbalanced when there is more evil or darkness than there is light. And they're saying that Earth is the physical representation of these energies at play. And again, the reason why so many light workers have incarnated onto Earth is because of the influx of evil, not just on Earth, but in other dimensions, in other realms, in other galaxies, you could say. And so again, the reason why the burden feels so heavy, of why does it feel like we are fighting up against the matrix, which is just all fake baloney mumbo jumbo, like none of it is real. We're essentially fighting in la la land, if you will. And this la la realm, or this upside down inverted reality, was created because there's an influx of evil over good. And again, Earth is just the physical manifestation of what is happening etherically, angelically, what is happening in other dimensions that we do not physically perceive. And so they're saying that a lot of the starseeds have incarnated into earthly bodies because we knew that we could initiate this awakening, or this ascension. We could initiate this remembrance. And if enough of us could remember and like wake each other up, like tap on each other, show each other sovereignty, show each other freedom, we could reawaken the remembrance of what freedom means. And I don't just mean like, again, like our evolution has come a very far way, because we have experienced, you know, like physical slavery, right? We have experienced these different things, but understand any and everything that happens on earth is just the physical representation of what is going on with what we don't see. Okay, again, the principalities, the ideologies. And so yeah, they're saying, like, we get it, we know that it feels like hell on earth, we get it, we know that it seems like what are we doing here, what is happening here? But they said it's less about what you do. So I was asking, like, how can I make an impact? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing here, right? Because sometimes I feel very lost on the earth plane. And they said it's less about what you do and more about the resonance that you're vibrating at. Are you bringing back the remembrance of sovereignty, of universal freedom? Are you igniting that? Are you shining that light with your resonance so that other people can be remembered of their freedom? Not just on the physical plane, but in other realms as well. And so, yes, we do have like these galactic beings and etheric beings helping to fight on our behalf, but also we are the boots on the ground. So whatever the fight looks like in the etheric plane is going to be represented of what the fight looks like on the physical plane. So for example, when evil prevails on earth, for example, like the child sacrifices, or like when there's injustice in the judicial system and all of that, that is simply a representation of the etheric oppression or of the metaphysical oppression. Okay, so yes, we are the boots on the ground, but our job here and our significance here is to wake each other up about what universal freedom and sovereignty looks like. Because when we tap into this universal sovereignty and freedom, and we wake up as many people as possible, again, when they were talking about the 144,000, I think that's just like a percentage. Like, there is a certain percentage of people who need to wake up to their divinity to shift the planet. And so while we're going through this awakening, this ascension, it is, yes, it's raising the consciousness of our mind so that we can reach God's state or an enlightened state. But it's more so about freeing the humans, because a lot of starseeds, when this is all said and done, we're going to get to leave Earth, right? Like at the end of some of our lives, we will not be coming back to Earth. But the human beings will still be here, okay? And so if this work is not done through us, then the human beings will continue to be enslaved. And why is that significant? Because the human beings represent an energetic reality, a non-physical reality, an etheric reality that is playing out in other realms. Okay? Yeah. I know, it's kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And like, it is also frustrating because it's like, why should we care what happens on other planets or other galaxies? Like, is this our way of just like trying to escape what is? And it's like, no. Again, there are levels to this. So if Earth is just the Earth school, even though this is like the hijacked, this is the hijacked Earth. This isn't the real Earth. What do they call her? Like Tiamat. This is not the real Earth. This is a projection of Earth that has been hijacked. How did they hijack it? They hijacked it by hijacking the consciousness of the beings on the earth. So when they hijack the consciousness of the beings on the earth, it's like if this was the real earth and the beings were on the real earth, when they hijacked the consciousness of the beings, we started to vibrate lower. So real earth is like up here, but we're vibrating down here because our consciousness has brought us to this, I don't want to call it like the underworld, but for lack of a better word, you know, like in Stranger Things, we talk about the upside down. We are essentially living in the upside down, the inverted version of what Earth was supposed to be. But again, the starseeds, the conscious creators, intentionally drop down into frequency or into vibration to reside on this upside down plane in hopes that if enough of us woke people up who were in the upside down, raise their vibration and raise their consciousness, we could bring the collective consciousness back up to the regular earth. Okay? So, yeah. You guys, let me know if that makes sense. I'm gonna hop off here now. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Good night.